Good morning, everybody. I tell you what, instead of me talking, why don't I just break out into a dance? I tell you what, I am so excited. I am elated. I am happy. I am gratified. I could just go on and on. And as I look around this playground, and how appropriate is that when you're talking about something good? As I look around this playground, I see so many people, all of you who have contributed in so many ways to neighborhoods, to our city, to our state, to our country. And I'm sure that there are those times when each and every one of us wonder, oh my goodness, does it really matter? Does it really make a difference? And today is absolutely the epitome of the reality that an idea can turn into something wonderful for literally thousands and thousands of people. And so here we stand today in front of this reality for the Mannheim community, and really for all of Kansas City. And it started because there was a man who thought, you know, even though there's been almost 4 decades of disinvestment, there are things that can be done if we just pull together and if we look across the entire strata that can help to make things better. And that's our Congressman Emanuel Cleaver II. Yeah. And he had the audacity to think that other folk would go along with his idea. And yet, here's the proof. Here we all are. And then to have the Make It Right Foundation, to have Dalmark, to have the city of Kansas City, Missouri, which enabled the Green Impact Zone to be established and to operate and to work with 5 neighborhoods, including Mannheim. Just look at all of these individual ideas, which when put together and made into a collection results in something like this. It cannot be taken for granted. And so, thank you all so much for everything that each and every one of you have done, whatever it might have been. Thank you so much to the Mannheim community for hanging on in there, and for the leadership of Sandra Hayes and her board. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And at this time, I want to bring up Congressman Emanuel Cleaver II, who will always be to me Rev.
Good morning. I've done many of these kinds of ceremonies over the years, and the one thing I have learned is that the length of speeches are commensurate with the drop in the temperature, and so I don't think you have to worry about a long time. Look, this is a very big day. There's no question about it. We're standing in the Green Impact Zone, the 3rd Council District of Congresswoman Melba Curls, who was here at the beginning. And I think we always need to say thank you to the mayor and the council. I think that as we move into this project, we will continue to depend on Melba Curls, Councilman Reed, who was elected after we got started, but actually worked in the Green Impact Zone before he ran for City Council. And there are a lot of city, state, federal officials actually who have been quite helpful as Make It Right has been as well. I want to just say I went to the fundraiser in New Orleans, the Make It Right fundraiser with Brad Pitt, his um, fiance. Uh, um, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. To see people raise $14 million in a hotel in a short period of time, which was nothing short of amazement, which also lets me know that no matter how ugly the TV commercials are right now, how ugly the news reports are, that there's still a lot of really good and decent people in this country who are willing to stand up and make it right. In about 14 months, this school building will be LEED's Platinum housing for about 50 individuals who will live in these affordable units. And this includes five special needs units. In fact, the room to my right is one of those special needs units. And there are so many parts of this project that are meritorious of discussing that it's hard to stand before you and talk about what all is going on here. So let me just say that in a building that was constructed in 1909 and has been abandoned since 2000, this has contributed to the ugliness of the neighborhood. And I know what ugly neighborhoods can do to an individual because I grew up in one. And I know that it can create in the minds and hearts of people who live by a kind of surrender. You know, this is the way it is and there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. And I've also seen when things happen, when people begin to see progress, it is inspirational. And people all around begin to feel a little bit better about their neighborhood. They begin to invest in their own homes and working in their yards and painting. I've seen it happen in my own neighborhood where I grew up. And this 150 block area that we call the Green Impact Zone has been led magnificently by Anita Malbia and her staff. It includes Paseo High School. Many people still don't know that we've been able to get solar panels on Paseo High School, the only high school anywhere around this region of the country. And the Innovation Park, homes with smart grid technology, new energy efficiency, and most importantly, lower energy bills, and a massive public-private cooperation and investment. The list goes on and on and on about what's going on. We've been able to get the shot spotter technology in the area, and many of the residents probably don't even know that it exists, and that's fine. The crooks will know. If you fire a gun inside this area, the police will know it within 5 seconds, and they'll know within 15 feet of where it was fired. So you're going to have to almost be Batman, Superman, or Spider-Man to get out of here before they arrive. And we're thankful to the Department of Transportation, to the ATA, for helping us to get this technology into this area so that the people who live here can feel a lot more comfortable about their safety. And then finally, we've created a whole new occupation, deconstruction specialists, because in this building we will have people who have already been trained in deconstruction. No more of this massive tearing down of buildings. They will deconstruct it, save the material that can be sold and placed in other structures again. And that's what this whole concept of green is all about. It's about saving. I went to the first time I went to Jerusalem, 1984, and I'm with an Air Force pilot who's taking me around, showing me everything in the city, and he says, I did my prayer, putting my prayer in a crack in the wall, and then he said, let me take you to the old part, to the new part of the wall, and we go over, and it looks pretty much like the wall I just left. And I said, you said you were going to show me the new part. He said, oh yeah, this is only 600 years old. And I thought, you know, in America, if it's 6 years old, we're ready to tear it down. And I think that's got to stop. That has got to stop. And there's no better place, as far as I'm concerned, to stop it than in the urban core, where we need to be able to preserve buildings, create an image that people care, that people really care about these neighborhoods, and the people in these neighborhoods care. The people in Mannheim have been fabulous, and they've worked hard to make sure that this project is finished. I want to thank David Warm and his staff at Mark. I saw him earlier. But when I went to them with this crazy idea, they bought into it. Maybe I shouldn't say it publicly, but they bought into this crazy idea, and many others did as well, because it couldn't be done without massive support and participation. So today we're going to have a celebration. It's a big day, a day to look around and to look at each other and really let it sink in what can happen when we put our partisan politics aside and develop this neighborhood first mentality. The mayor of our city is a mayor who believes that kind of philosophy. He acts out on that kind of philosophy, and I'm very pleased and proud to have him as my mayor, Sly James.
It never seems to fail that I follow him, Congressman Emanuel Cleaver, but it gives me something to aspire to. As a matter of fact, last spring, Congressman and I, along with a lot of you, were here, neighborhood leaders, Make It Right folks, to announce this project, and it was the result of an enormous amount of work and effort and dedication. And because of that work, effort, and dedication, Bancroft School is going to live again, and it's going to be a lead, sustainable asset to this community. This happens only when people begin to believe in their neighborhoods, their environment, but most of all in each other. This is a neighborhood that surrounds this building here, that in the years that the neighbors have come together to work together, crime has gone down by 23% over the last 2 years. And in Mannheim Park, the people here have figured out that that they've changed the words, you can't do that because, to, what happens if we do it this way? Well, all I can tell you is that when people change their attitude and start to believe in what they are doing, then things actually get done. And we don't have to constantly beat ourselves up and wait for others to do it for us. I grew up not too far from here, over 44th and Montgall, and when I got out of the car, it wasn't surprising that the congressman was already out of his car. He was standing on one of these porches over there, talking to the ladies while they fixed their hair. I saw a couple of them get on their cell phones and call people up. I know what they were saying. Girl, you can't believe who is here on my porch. I think it's Denzel Washington. Yeah, but they were handing him the babies to kiss, and and talking to him, and as he always does, as he does every single time, he stopped. He gave each person who talked to him that special time and touch that only Congressman Cleaver can. His legacy of connection and compassion is one that I simply aspire to. I ain't there yet. He's been doing it a lot longer, and I aspire to do what he does. But I'll say one thing about him that I had on Congressman Cleaver that day. When I rolled up in the van, in the truck, and the windows were tinted, and kids gathered around thinking somebody important was going to get out, and then I stepped out. They didn't show how disappointed they were, which made me happy. But one of them came up to me and said something that struck me and still stays with me today. He asked me if I grew up in a neighborhood like his, and I was able to say, yes, I did. And I was also able to say to him that your neighborhood is getting better. And it's getting better because of the people who live in your neighborhood, your mothers and fathers, your neighbors down the street, the Make It Right Foundation, Congressman Cleaver, the people in the city, Mannheim Neighborhood Group, Green Impact Zone. Everybody who's working on this project is making your neighborhood better. And the reason they're making your neighborhood better is because they care about you. Because they recognize that what they do today has an impact on your life tomorrow. So I want to thank Congressman Cleaver for his visionary ideas, but also in this day of political hate, political division, where people despise not only what you may think, but who you are for thinking it, where we cannot bring people together to accomplish even the most basic things that will serve this country or this city in the ways that we need it the most. That this man, Congressman Cleaver, has been the lone voice many times saying we have to be better than this. So thank you for making us all better than this, Congressman. Thanks for making us better. Tim Dugan at Make It Right, and it's my pleasure now to introduce Tom from Make It Right, who's going to run this program for us here and make sure that this works out well.
Thank you, Mayor James. My name is Tom Darden, and I'm the Executive Director of Make It Right. We're really excited to be here today with our friends, our partners, our neighbors, as we break ground on our second project outside of New Orleans, where we were founded. Working with innovative architects like BNIM there, we learned that there's a better way to build affordable housing, a way in which we refuse to compromise on quality and affordability. Now we're proud to be sharing what we learned there with our friends here. And I'd like to introduce Tim Dugan, who's Make It Right's landscape architect and project manager here in Kansas City. Tim's been leading our work here in his home city, and we're thankful to him to making this project possible. It's really, he's one of the reasons that we're all here today. So, Tim, thank you.
It's pretty great when a plan comes together, huh? I'm going to be very brief because there's quite a few folks that want to talk today that played instrumental roles in what we're looking at. And what we're looking at is transforming a community through a thorough community engagement process. And the anecdote I'd like to leave with everybody is that hearing folks from this neighborhood association that were active throughout this entire process talk on behalf of the project as owners of this, talk on behalf of the project as designers of this, and talk on behalf of the project that is going to help build this and reshape this community is what's inspiring on a daily basis. So today, it would have been impossible without the support of significant material donations coming from Unico, coming from Shaw Carpet, from Benjamin Moore, and Cosentino's. They've played an instrumental role. But even more so than that, we wouldn't have even been able to come to Kansas City without the kindness and generosity of the Dreiserson Foundation and their support to plant a seed for a new way to redesign our communities, to create a community that's regenerative and transformative around a big idea that Congressman Cleaver started. So that being said, I'd like to introduce my mentor and dear friend, Bob Berkebile, who has screened many late night phone calls for me and guided throughout the process. And so with that being said, Bob, thank you very much for being a part of this, and it's a great day for everybody.
Thanks, Tim, and good morning. It is a great day for everybody. I would say this is the most important day in Mannheim Park in at least a half century, because this is just not another urban redevelopment project. This is a transformative new form of community building. We've been thinking about this a lot, and we're starting to call it urban acupuncture, because it is a strategic investment of leadership, design, and capital in a critical location at a critical time that in a way creates a healthy virus that will first infect the residents here, the neighbors surrounding this place, this community, and the larger community. It creates a catalytic force which will transform the health and vitality of this neighborhood, the Green Impact Zone, and the city. You might think of it as a factory that produces human capital. This didn't happen by accident. You've heard others comment before, and I want to reinforce that this is a direct result of a remarkable vision, courage, and tenacity. First, by this neighborhood, certainly by Congressman Cleaver, and by partnerships far too numerous to identify here this morning. But certainly they include everyone and the organizations that have been mentioned so far and those that follow me. But they also include Mark, the Bryce Creek Community Partners, Truman Hospital, and scores of others. This partnership redefines effective collaboration and philanthropy. I and my colleagues at BNIM, and Jeremy Knoll, the project manager, is here somewhere, but everyone at BNIM has been privileged to be a part of this process. And I want to say across the board, this entire team is a very experienced team. But I think I can say, I know for myself and my colleagues, and I think for everyone else, that we have all been changed by this project. We learn to relate to one another differently and to perform at a level heretofore thought impossible. And I predict that it's only the beginning, because a virus is a virus, and new vitality is very infectious. And so I now have the privilege to introduce one of the critical members of this team. Whenever we thought we needed more muscle or more weight, we called on Jim Nichols at Delmar.
Well, I'd like to stand up and say it was easy, but that's an understatement. It was a labor of love. It was one of the tougher things I think I've done in my career. But as everyone before me and everyone after me will say, it's been worth it, and we could not have done it without everybody here today, and others that aren't. I also have the great honor of saying thank you, and for a few individuals here, we wanted to say a special thank you. And I have a little token of that, and I'd like to ask the congressman to step up if he would, please.
Thank you, sir, for all your support. And what we have are some presentation plaques, and you'll see the picture of the school, little architectural rendition, and here is something that's near and dear to my heart, which is the word cloud. And the word cloud here is really the symbol of all the charrettes, all the community discussions, everything that we took and we distilled down into this representation that says, you know, what the community wanted and what we could then integrate into development. And sir, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mayor, can you step up here? I would like to say thank you personally, sir, for everything. And once again, take this. Hope you hang in your office. Absolutely. And we're very proud of everything the city's done to help us. Absolutely. Thank you. And I'm going to ask Lynn Craighead to step up as well, because without U.S. Bank and their funding and them being our partner with the equity and everything we need, and I've known Lynn for a long time, and Lynn, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then I would like to have the representation from the Bryson Foundation step up, please. Hey, Erica, thank you very much. We really appreciate everything and look forward to it. Thank you very much. And last but not least, I'd like to have Bill Ohm step up from MHDC. I've known Bill for a while, and MHDC has been a great partner. And Bill, I want to personally say thank you for everything MHDC has done, the governor, and everything the commission has done. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And
To that now, I too, I'm trying to be sensitive to time, and it is getting still a little chilly out here. I'd like to introduce Lynn Craighead again. Lynn, thank you for everything.
And we really appreciate it. You can check.
Thank you. Well, good morning. What a great turnout this morning. You know, if you're from the neighborhood, would you stand up? I'd like to really applaud you and celebrate you today. I've never seen a neighborhood come together and really drive this process. Thank you very much. You know, U.S. Bank was able to provide $13 million toward the overall $14 million cost of this project, not through a loan, but by equity, the down payment in your house, if you will. We were able to do that by investing in the low-income housing tax credit that Bill Alm and MHDC provided, and the historic rehabilitation tax credits, both federal and state. Those credits are in danger. Everything is being very much scrutinized in DC and in Jeff City. And I hope you'll support it, because those credits are really what enable us to set the rent level here at a level that will be affordable to the people that live in this neighborhood. This is transformative, and we're so very, very proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
The congressman and I did not do justice. We did not mention MHDC and how much of a role they play, not only in this project, but in housing projects across the city.
Yeah, MHDC has been fabulous, and I hope people really listen to that last comment, because there are those who are saying that the role of government should change, and government does need to be trimmer, does need to tighten its belt, but there are some things that government must do if we're going to be the United States of America that we've all committed ourselves to. So. MHDC has been fabulous. Thank you. Most people don't know the governor, the treasurer are all members of MHDC, and then Jennifer Tidwell. Oh, in the back, Jennifer Tidwell is from MHDC as well, and she's been fabulous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor, for we needed to say this. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Good morning. I'm Mark Stallsworth. I'm President and CEO of Neighborhood Housing Services of Kansas City. We're one of the partners in this project with Make It Right and Dalmark, who, you know, I can't say enough great things about Dalmark, can't say enough great things about Make It Right. You know, this school's had a pretty good run if you think about it. It opened in 1909, closed in 1999. So it had a 90-year run here serving this neighborhood, and we're just all really excited to be a part of the process that's going to put it in service for another 90 years for this community. My real purpose here today is to be able to introduce the person that is the current president of the Manheim Neighborhood Park Association. NHS has been instrumental in neighborhoods across the city, working with the neighborhoods, helping them form their neighborhood associations, and we are very proud to have been a part of the formation of the Manheim Park Neighborhood Association years ago, and it's my extreme pleasure to introduce Sandra Hayes today.
Okay. Morning. You don't stand here by yourself. So I just want to say thank you. That is my purpose for being here today, to show our gratitude. This project for this neighborhood is just more than we could have ever imagined. I am so grateful to be able to be here, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the folks that came before me, because as most of you know, I've only been here a couple of years. A loss brought me here, but I can just thank my sister in heaven, because she is the reason that I'm here, because she left me some property in this neighborhood. And when I came over, I thought, well, maybe if I can clean it up, we can do some stuff. Not knowing that, how do you clean up a neighborhood? But I learned real quick that being a change agent without relationship creates rebellion. So, got with the Green Impact Zone and Mid-America Regional Council, and my mentor, Renelle Nipperud, who's here today, and Jerry Holland Buck, and Learned Community Building. This is community. Last week, NHS sent us to Florida to their Community Institute training, and I was able to do a project, and I was going to build a community, and I got to talk about the Bancroft, and folks' eyes were mesmerized when I told them about this wonderful project here. And so they said, well, Sandra, how long did it take you to write that grant? And I just said, the heavens lined up and the stars smiled on Manheim Park. So special people with special hearts created this. We want to thank Rodney Knott, who actually started this conversation. Rodney and his group administration said, well, we can do something here in this neighborhood with this school. Rodney's group laid the groundwork for us to come in and work. And so we are so grateful, so thankful, and God bless you. Now I'm going to invite everyone over to the dirt so we can do the groundbreaking. Come on.